Welcome to the ITM Podcast.
This is episode 251 of the ITM Podcast, the official Boston Red Sox podcast of the CLNS Media Network, brought to you by PrizePicks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network, and by Game Time Tickets, the best place to buy tickets online, sports concerts, all your favorite events. The Boston Red Sox are kind of in the news. My name is Joey Copponi and Scott Neville. Scott, how you doing?
Dude, I just saw posted the Rays join growing list of Juan Soto suitors.
Bro, that's an awesome place to start, because I was going to bring this up at some point in the show. I have no structure for when we're going to talk about these things. I just have like four things to talk about. This is a slow week, but oddly enough, there are things that we have to address. But this is one of them that's like Red Sox adjacent, in that all of the free agent and trade rumors that are coming out this year more than any other, there are 5 teams, maybe 6, period. Like, it is the Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox, Mets, Cubs.
It's some mystery suitors.
And then a couple of small market teams is how they've been.
Sprinkle.
Yeah, some Phillies news, some Phillies do, but it's weird. It's like they're selling. It's like, I don't know. It's not selling, but selling for Dombrowski standards. But it really feels like this year more than ever. And obviously it's fucking November 6th. There's a lot of time for things to change, but it feels so much right now like there are 6, maybe call it 8 teams that are legitimate contenders for not even just free agents, but trade acquisitions too. Then there's like 15, maybe teams that you're like, oh, it wouldn't be insane if Cleveland was in on one of these guys. And then there is just 8, like, it's not even, it would be a joke. It would be a joke. And the Rays are a perfect example of one of those 15 middle teams where you're like, yeah, right, I forgot they did make a push for Judge. And like I guess they do kind of acquire guys every now and again, or at least pretend like they're making a push. It's just a weird structure for how baseball is, the lack of cap kind of does that, but very prevalent right now is what I'm saying.
I think it would be very funny for you tomorrow to do something like Rays somehow reportedly in mix for Juan Soto sweepstakes. I think that would be a very funny way to do that, and I wouldn't mind if you did that on your new gig.
Oh, is that you segueing for me to?
Well, it wasn't a segue. I thought of that, and I was like, honestly, we just haven't talked about it, which makes sense because you weren't doing it last year.
Right. No.
Yeah, right on the eve.
Yeah. The last time we recorded was the day before the Newsweek gig kicked in, and you can go on over Newsweek.com. It's the same Newsweek, A couple of my friends needed to see the logo. That was like kind of a consistent thing that was weird. They were like, Newsweek, I definitely know that. And then when they saw the logo, they're like, oh, yeah, Newsweek. You've heard of it. And if right now you're like, do I know news? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I don't really know their sports. Well, because they really haven't done sports. Now they do. And writing baseball stuff over there. So go check that out for sure. But yeah, I mean, the Rays are like, the Rays are good for a headline that says, believe it or not, the Rays are actually apparently in, but that's it. They're not, it's a 0.0% chance that they do it.
Correct. And that he would come there, because you're not going to take, first of all, they're not giving top dollar, but if you have comparable offers to not play in the drop for the Rays, you're not going to do that.
They're not even playing in the Trop. They don't know where they're playing.
Right. They don't even. Apologies.
They don't have a ballpark. They're going to have Juan Soto and no ballpark?
They're saying it's not worth a couple $1 million to fix their home stadium. If they're going to go for Juan Soto. They're saying we might just go with AAU for a year because we don't really feel like playing that. But
they play 81 games there, and it would cost them $10 million, and they're like, abso-fucking-lutely not.
How much? $?
No. We'll play in Alabama. I don't know. Who cares? Doesn't matter. And they're going to drop $700 million on Juan Soto. I don't think the Rays ever give out a contract bigger than Wander Franco ever again. Remember him? We haven't talked about him in a while. Not we, just the world hasn't talked about him in a while.
Yeah, he doesn't come up very much.
Is he busy?
I think he's going to have a lot of time on his hands.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of good. Focus up, find
Right.
God, work out.
Still got a big chain.
Isn't it fun? Never mind. I'm not going to get into the inner workings of a prison, but it is kind of funny that they're like every single guy does like the exact same thing, and it's like found God, worked out. That's about it. And I'm good to go. Stabbed a couple people, but they don't know it was me.
Nah.
And that's just kind of it. The Rays are not genuinely in the Juan Soto sweepstakes. That does kind of lead to the Red Sox rumor though, because apparently the Red Sox are among the 4 or 5 teams that are being thrown around a lot. It's the Dodgers, the Mets, the Sox, and I'm seeing people say the Yankees are out. I don't know what to believe there, but maybe are they in the top 3?
I think, well, here's the thing. I think in my opinion, I think there's the New York teams, and then I think there's a tier. I would put the Yankees and Mets on. You said the Yankees. There's been a lot of talk about what will the Yankees do if they don't retain Soto. I saw one. They could pair Christian Walker with Bregman, which I actually think would make a lot of sense because then they would have 2 Gold Glovers in the infield and fix all of the problems they had there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you move Jazz a second, whatever. I think it's probably those 2, and then 3. Yeah, honestly, maybe because I'm going through the list in my head. The Dodgers, of course, they'll be involved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they actually do this. I think it's more of like a Willie Adames, and they have some pitching needs to fill. I don't think they really go for them. The only thing is, do you expect? I don't know. I feel like the Red Sox, they're kind of a weird fit team. It's it's one of those things. He's a superstar. He's a Hall of Famer. Already, you don't say, we already got pretty set in outfield over here.
Right. You don't say, hey, we got Zidane and we got Willier. You make room for Juan Soto. Sure. Yeah. But it is weird to say, but it's a strange fit as you're not looking for outfielders and you're looking for right-handed bats to acquire a superstar. Say you sure
as hell don't want a left-hander right now. Adding a left-handed middle of the order bat so that you're stuck
outfielder too. It's a lot of things they don't need, but it's
Juan Soto.
I'm not gonna sit here and complain and be like, "Oh, he doesn't fit." You make fucking room. You make room.
Yeah, but dude, Devers, Casas, and Soto as that locked in 2 through 4, you can't really move them around. And Duran's gonna lead off. You can't. It's just they're gonna be throwing. There's gonna be so many lefty specialists.
So what? Yeah, Casas in hitting 7th.
But that's what I'm saying is you're locked into that.
That's what you would probably do. Would be 1, 3, 5, 7. Devers.
I don't know if you would do that.
Duran, Devers, Soto.
I'll tell you what, right-handed pitchers would be in for a doozy, and that's going to be the most of them. When you do have a left-handed lineup, maybe they do, left-handed pitcher, maybe they do something like that. But in the playoffs, it's that lefty specialist is coming into that same slot every single night.
Mm-hmm.
If we're talking about playoffs, which if we have Juan Soto, I think we are.
We can't be sitting here being like there's lineup trouble if Juan Soto is here. I can't be doing that. I know it's weird.
I'm just saying you want a $700 million acquisition to fit perfectly.
Yeah, well, you change the team. You move the team around.
Yeah, but you don't change any of those players I just mentioned.
Duran would probably be in top contention for a guy who's not here.
I think you keep him. Listen,
I would vote keep Duran. I don't know who you do move out of the outfield because even Juan Soto aside, you got to move somebody out of that outfield. I don't want to move any of them.
I wouldn't move. I love
Willier.
I love him, but if you get Juan Soto, Ref Snyder's safe.
Yeah.
Who
I'm
else are we
saying
missing?
Soto aside. Like, you've got to get rid of one of these guys, probably. Like, in a world where,
Yeah.
like, even with O'Neill gone, like, you're still going to have five outfielders and Roman Anthony coming up.
I wouldn't have hated the more I'm thinking about it. I think Stats basically said this take already, but I don't really want a Teoscar now, just like buying at full price when he could have been cheap last year, and he's probably not going to do what he just did. His defensive issues are present. It almost makes more sense to try and get O'Neill back. It would have made sense on the qualifying offer. A 1-year deal, if you could get a 1-year deal for O'Neill, I'd be for it. I don't want to sign O'Neill.
There was a
to
perfect
multi-year
1-year deal right there for
Yeah,
him in
right.
what's called a qualifying offer.
Right. Now I don't think you can get a 1-year deal done with him, and I don't want more than 1 year because of the injuries. And he's also like he's a Roman Anthony stopgap, basically.
In case you guys missed it, Red Sox extended a qualifying offer. This year, it is $21.05 million. They extended it to a one Mr. Nick Pivetta, who is Canadian. They did not extend it to Tyler O'Neill, who, oddly enough, also Canadian.
Right.
Yeah, they had two Habs on the docket. Strange decision.
Yes.
Whereas you need both, just in terms of their positioning.
Oop.
You need starting
Yes.
pitching. You need a right-handed
Okay.
bat. Weird to do neither, or to not do neither or both. To pick one and to pick that one, very weird. If they were going to do just one, I would imagine that it would have been Tyler O'Neill, because Nick Pivetta is not really worth $20 million, in my humble opinion. Tyler O'Neill, I think, is. He was just your home run leader. And you're like, nah, not you. But our 3 starter, yeah, we'll give it to him.
3 starters, generous. You know what's hilarious about this? We're not even close because I would imagine he accepts, but I would have imagined he wouldn't have gotten offered. So I don't think I know anything. I saw a $63 million projection the other day for Pivetta. I think it was 3 years, $63 million. I don't remember who said that. I think that's blasphemous. But my point is, we're not even, I mean, he could accept this second, but we could potentially not even be close to figuring out if he's going to stay.
When does he have until to decide it?
He's till November 19th.
Oh, he has 2 weeks?
Yeah, like we should be like way into plans by then.
It's so weird, the deadlines that are set, because, the whole Gerrit Cole thing happens.
Yeah.
And Gerrit Cole opts out of his deal. And the Yankees have like 24 hours to decide if they want to exercise their club option. Insane. Well, makes no sense. The deadlines are so arbitrary.
Yeah. I do feel like it would be very easy to make that. Like, that's something you can do before. In terms of like, there's only 2 outcomes. It's not like they're giving you hey, we got to figure out a pitch to make him an offer or whatever. It's just like either yes or no. You've basically had the whole, like pretty much the whole year. I feel like most of the year you'd be like, what do we do in this situation?
Right.
Like I would imagine you have those meetings probably as the leaders of baseball operation. Who knows?
I think it took so long because the Yankees had their mind made up and they were like, no, thank you.
We'll let him go. Yeah.
Go have a good one. Maybe we can renegotiate once you're a free agent and we can get you for what you're actually worth instead of more than you're already making.
Yeah.
And the one thing they didn't plan on was after they said, no, thank you, have a good one, is that Gerrit Cole would go, no, never mind.
Yeah.
I want to stay, please. No, wait, I didn't mean it. And then I think they legitimately have to like check with the league and be like, I know he opted out. Can he just opt back in and say, never mind, I was joking? Can he do that? Like, I think they actually had to check and be like, is this, what do the rules say about this? Because I've never heard of that happening before.
I think that was hilarious, and I think that's weirdly that made me less fearful of him on the mound because that was as soft of a move as possible. I'll tell you, Roger Clemens, Pedro Martinez, they're not doing some soft shit like that. I'll tell you that much. And that made me just be like, "Yep, that's Gerrit Cole."
I think it's also Boris, just being Boris. Like the new edition of Scott Boris is a guy who's like, we're going to get you fucking every penny you're worth. And teams are like, Scott, fuck you. Stop doing that. It's not going to work anymore. And him going, all right, fine. And having to turn sheepishly back to Cole and be like, yeah, I don't think you're going to get the extra year. I would just stay with the deal that you had. You don't want to be a free agent.
Trust me, I screwed this up so many times last year. You do not want to put me in this position.
I went like not want me as your agent.
Trust me, you do not want me to do this. I know when I signed you, I was good at this. Do not put me back in this position.
The fall off of Scott Boris is crazy. This is a really interesting offseason for him, for all that.
Yeah, if he bundles again, he's just not a good agent.
I think this is like a make or break. Scott Boris is on the hot seat offseason. Because if it's anything like last year, his reputation is forever tarnished. He's no longer the top dog. And I don't know who takes that spot over him, but he at least like permanently loses the prestige that he has.
He'll also lose like the names too. Like you'll look back at his list a year from now and it'll be like, oh, he doesn't have any of these guys anymore. Big offseason for the first name. You know, he could really do a number on us. Yeah, no, I mean, I was going to ask you, like, what's your opinion? Just because I know that you care a lot about the Scots representing. Yeah. So the Highland games are this weekend, so I know you care about the Scots representing over there. My thing is, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because of the name, and I believe in my boys, my fellas, and I think he's going to turn some heads this offseason. Hey, if you at home are listening and you're like, you know what that just reminded me of is that like I have some boys that I really believe in, and I love to pick higher or lower on their stat projections on two or more players on like NFL Sundays, and I would love to like make some money doing that. Dude, fucking download Prize Picks.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. They got over 10 million members and billions of dollars in award winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all, so you just pick more or less on at least two players for a shot to win up 100 times your cash. Your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get into the action in over 30 states, including California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, so your lineups stay even if one of your players gets hurt or injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks keeps your lineup live. Sign up today and give $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus because it's guaranteed. Think Steph Curry will get more than 4 3-pointers this week, or Anthony Edwards more than 27 points? Cook up some hot takes with your friends and win real money this basketball season. Get your crew to run your game on Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. And, you know, some of the Prize Picks you could be looking at: Luka Doncic for more than 31.5 points, Steph Curry for more than 4 3-pointers, Anthony Davis more than 11 boards, the freak Giannis for more than 29.5 points. Again, download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
So we talked about the Soto to the Sox rumor a little bit, right? It sounds crazy, but Heyman seems really adamant that he believes that. I don't know. For whatever reason, I trusted John Heyman when I saw that clip of him because, I mean, we know he's a Boris mouthpiece. That's kind of been his whole thing, his whole career. But the way that he was speaking in that one, I think it was a Bleacher Report Live.
Yep, Bleacher PR walk-off thing.
Yeah, it was just believable that he was like, I guess Red Sox fans were mad at me the last time I projected them to sign somebody because they're not spending money, but I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. Sorry. And it genuinely, if he's acting, give him an Oscar. I believed it. That's the Soto rumor.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
you're about
yeah,
to
yeah,
go
yeah.
into.
Put a bow on it. Put a bow on it.
I was just gonna say that there's general optimism, which I think I'm assuming that's where you're transitioning to. So you go ahead.
Another big rumor, Scott, is that the Sox and the Mets are top 2 contenders in Buster Olney's eyes to trade for Garrett Crochet.
Yeah.
And
Please
Jeff
don't.
Passan, kind of, I guess he didn't disagree. I went and listened because it was on the ESPN the Baseball Tonight podcast, which is confusing because that is
Right,
already
it's
a thing.
Different thing.
It's an entirely different thing. You can't just have the Sports Center podcast and have
Right.
it be. Actually, a Sports Center podcast would do actually really well. Probably do better than the TV ratings right now. That's actually a great idea. Cut that out. Don't let them hear that. I want to sell them that. But Passan didn't object. So I would go ahead and say that 2 of the top MLB insiders believe that the Boston Red Sox and the New York Mets are the prevailing contenders to trade for Garrett Crochet.
I am surprisingly gonna say, please don't do that.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Talk me through it.
So it has nothing to do with. I think Crochet is great. It has nothing to do with his ability. But even if he is an ace, like we're guaranteed, he's gonna work out. He's not gonna get hurt. Whatever. There is a reason why people are saying that the Red Sox are capable of trading for literally anyone, and that we have young major league pieces that are expendable, but really good, and then we have 4 legit elite prospects. I want to keep them. I know people, Bobby Dahlbeck's value was high, and we let that go. This is different. These are blue chip, legit prospects, and I don't need all of them to work out. If they're so sure that Kyle Teal or something is about to bust because they have different information than we do, and they want to do the Dombrowski, which is we're not going to trade Devers under any circumstances, but we think we can move these guys because they're not that good and they still have their value. Okay, but I want to just see all the talent we've been waiting for come up. I know there's the argument that there's too many middle infielders, there's too many catchers. What do you do? But obviously the outfield is jammed. But I want there to just be an overload of talent like the Dodgers feel like they have every year, and then we'll sign a guy. It doesn't have to be Garrett Crochet. If they're going to spend on, I'd rather them get a Jack Flaherty and keep what they have than get a Garrett Crochet and trade away Roman Anthony and Kyle Teal.
I mean, I think any trade that includes 2 of the top of the big 4,
I think
would be crazy. I don't think it would take that. I think that would be bananas. I mean, that to me is like a Tatis trade, like a guy who has a lot of years ahead of him and is like a superstar. And maybe not just those 2, but that and some other pieces. But a trade that includes Wilyer, Teal, and some prospect that's never going to make it out of Salem or the White Sox equivalent. I do that 10 times out of 10 because Passan also added in that thing that Crochet is operating with the understanding that wherever he is traded, he is extending, that he wants to put down roots. He doesn't want to be a free agent in 2 years. I guess he just wants to be traded, sign an extension. That's kind of part of the deal.
He's a pitcher, though. You're going to lose him for 2 years.
Yeah. That's the market knows. Yeah. That's what it is. I'm not saying pay him 40 for 12 years, but
I'd rather keep. No, I'm not worried about the extension. I'm just saying you're going to trade away Wilyer, a Rookie of the Year candidate, and a potential, elite player of those top 4 for a guy that is incredibly injury prone over his career, and he's a pitcher, so it's built in. Even if he's not, Lucas Giolito was an injury prone even a little till the day he signed with the Boston Red Sox. It's that doesn't and I don't know. I don't like it. I would much rather keep everybody and sign. I mean, this is the thing that pissed me off. We can just sign Corbin Burns. We're just going to pretend like we can't. We don't have to give up Roman Anthony to get ace. We can get an ace and have Roman Anthony. No problem.
Yeah. I guess well, I mean, do you believe they're going to do that?
No.
I think Red Sox fans,
But we're
myself
talking
included,
about-
are just like excited to see us in rumors and be like, oh, could we do that? Please, please, please. Like, no, it's not the smartest option, but I like it. I like being involved in the talks. I like the idea of acquiring a good player, really, no matter how right now, which is a dumb time to do it because we've had patience forced upon us for the past 4 years to just like wait. And they're right there. And I'm like, oh God, just fucking give it to me now. I just trade them away and give me something, please. I just want to be excited, Scott. I just want like the passing breaking tweet to make me go, oh my God, the Sox got someone important.
I agree, but I think we can do that without trading away any of the big four or Willier or Teal. If we're good, because my thing is, if we're gonna make that trade where we trade away someone like Willier, you got to get the right-handed bat. Like you almost feel like that's going to be kind of like when they traded essentially in 2 deals, but they essentially traded Verdugo for Tyler O'Neill, in the sense of like
right.
They just made 2 deals to make that swap, and then there was talent moved around. But like that's the deal I feel like that's going to be most likely to be made versus the trading Willier for and if it's Willier for Crochet. That's a different conversation that I'd be more open to having. But I think it would be either 2 of the top 4 or a legit, like what you said, like, was it Willier and what was the other
Willier
Teal?
and Teal is what I said, yeah.
That feels like a ton to me.
Yeah, maybe that's wrong.
No, but I don't think that is, like, I think if it was much less than that, he wouldn't have made it through the deadline.
I mean, if there are 2 prevailing landing spots and trade partners and not 5, that says to me like I don't know if the trade market is going to be as insane as the free agent market is expected to be.
Well, it's this time of year where people are going to check in because of the same argument I just made. You can just get Burns, you can get Snell, you can get Fried. Once those 3 are off the market, that's when Garrett Crochet, if he hasn't been dealt yet, that's when we're going to start adding a lot more teams, because if the Dodgers do whiff on all of those players, then are they in the market for Crochet? If the Mets do whiff on all those aces somehow, that probably heats up, That's something where I think you got to find out where everybody falls before they start. I mean, the White Sox last year dealt their previous guy, Dylan Cease, who was in the exact same situation where everyone thought he would go at the deadline. They didn't like what they were offered. They waited till literally the day before the plane to Korea, like before the season started. They will wait till the absolute last second and take the absolute best offer in the final waning seconds. And I feel like they're going to do the exact same thing this year unless they get blown away, which would be like Teal and Campbell or something, and I don't want to do that. I just don't think you need to.
Listen, that's just a great point.
Yeah.
I would love to argue with you. That's just a great point.
And where I don't know, for them it's deja vu. They're in the exact same situation. They got a young ace that they can move, and I don't know why they would operate much differently. And why not go get like that? I mean, you could get Burns. You should just do that. But if not, I'd rather keep the talent we have and then add a decent, like a good number 2, a Walker Buehler even, I would take, instead of, selling the farm for Crochet. And then you have all that elite talent. And then if you want to make that move for, swapping out Willier for a right-handed equivalent, okay, whatever, we can talk about that. But, yeah, that's where I stand now. It's too early, I feel like, to give up everything in a trade when you don't need to. There's so many free agents. Luckily, we're going to just get all the free agents because of Pete Abe said so.
Perfect segue. You saw exactly where I was going. So we've talked about the Soto news. 1, the Soto rumor, the Crochet rumor. The third piece of this rumor pie, Scott, is not only did Pete Abe of the fucking Boston newspaper.
Yep.
I love the Boston newspaper. I don't know if you read that, but
I still get the physical mail.
Yeah, I get it. My paper boy throws it onto my doorstep every morning. That's how I wake up. And he goes, Boston newspaper. And then he ring, ring, ring. I live in a fantasy land. Not only did he say that, but a one mister, you know him, you love him. We've already talked about him. John Heyman wrote an article about an hour ago where he said, in regards to Red Sox ownership, quote, word is they are quietly laying the groundwork to begin spending and competing again after completely laying low for years, end quote.
What I like a lot. Did you even say the Pete Abe quote?
No, his was like or something like that.
I feel like it was actually pretty intriguing. It was something about high-end talent. They wanted a high-end talent.
Yeah.
Several agents, Boris among them, have mentioned that the message from the Sox has been that ownership is committed to adding high-end talent, and the team plans to be active in the free agent market. So what I like about this is the biggest difference to me is last year, ownership said they were going to spend, but every single other person was like, well, I don't know that's true. Because what I'm hearing from, the people they're negotiating with is quite the opposite. But this year, it sounds like the outside noise, which is actually more important than what ownership is telling you, is optimistic. So that's what I like about it so far.
Scott, on this show, I have said, show me, don't tell me. Okay? Because they've said a lot of things to me. They've said it to you too. They said it publicly. I live in a Joe-centric brain. So when I hear it, I'm like, they said this to me. But they said it publicly to everyone. You can go look it up yourself. They said a lot of things, made a lot of promises. Last year, there was a big one. You guys should Google it. And nothing happened. So I came into this offseason fully on the show me, don't tell me train.
But it's not them. It's not them. That's different to me.
This is bordering on showing me, because people talking kind of says to me that they're showing other people. And God damn it, if I'm not getting my hopes up, dude, I can't even lie. I'm kind of buying it. And especially the Heyman one. That's twice I've given a lot of credit to Heyman on the show. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's the fact that there was a second one in the same day, dude. Because the Pete Abe one came out earlier today, right?
Yeah, no,
maybe yesterday.
No, it was. It was today. It was 8 hours ago.
Come on.
So why I think it matters is because, like I just said, it's if they said it, I'd be like, "You okay, pal?" That would be a show me, don't tell me. The indication based on this is that, I would imagine they had initial conversations, Boris and the other agents with Breslow, and they probably, I would imagine, after the last few years, including Breslow last year, Breslow calls and say, I'm interested in Burns. And that agent, in my opinion, would say, are you serious? Because last 5 years, you guys have wasted time and you've offered half of what he's worth. So, do you mean that? And then I think Breslow probably has to go around on an apology tour and say, hey, no, we're actually call me before you make a final. If you get an offer, I want to be the last one to bid or whatever. Hey, actually, we're serious this time about actually getting, X pitcher. I know I offered T. Oscar $7 last year, but this time we got 20 smackaroons for him.
I was going to say, it would be fucking insane if they're like, no, we're ready to spend the big dollars. And then the same thing that happened with Yoshinobu Yamamoto happens, where they're like, Corbin Burns is getting how much? We're going to give him 5 years, 60. Is that not going to do it? Fucking shit.
$200 million?
American?
Get out of here.
Oh, God. All right, we'll be back next year. And they're always just 5 years behind, but they think oh, I think you are going to like the offer that we send your way. Let's just say it's going to look a little different than last year. And it's just, A 5% raise? Come on. There is a reality where that's the case. Am I protecting myself by throwing that out there? Yeah. Is it possible? I think like completely possible.
Yeah, but this is different to me.
Well, I got a big question for you about these rumors when you and I talk again, which is going to be in about a minute and 22 seconds after we talk to our good friends over at Game Time.
There's nothing like seeing a game live. I mean, watching it on TV is great. We have all the technology. We have our phones. We have access to everything. But being there in person, it's definitely the way to go. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time.
Scott?
Joey?
Do me a favor, dude. I just gave you 3 rumors over the course of this show.
Yeah.
Sox in the Soto sweepstakes, in the Crochet trade market, and these reports that the Red Sox are apparently finally willing to spend. Rank them, if you would, in terms of believability to you. Your personal belief level.
Yeah.
1 to 3. Not good idea level, because I know how you feel about Crochet. I heard you.
Right.
You know, you're not in on the Crochet thing. Just believability, which you think is the most legit, top to bottom.
I think Crochet is 1 just because you know they have the ammo. They can make a phone call right this second and get it done. They don't even have to hear another offer. If their sole objective of the offseason was we think Crochet is the next, elite ace, like Hall of Fame level talent, we can go get him. No questions asked.
After 1 year of starting, yeah.
Right. But I mean, yeah, I'm just saying they have the capital. They can double overpay him. Most teams, it's like, usually in these situations, it's like, I don't know, like who do you trade that would be enticing enough for it? Like most teams are like, who could we even package together that wouldn't be absurd? They could say, we'll pay 4 times what would be acceptable with the prospect capital they have and the young talent they have. So that's the most believable to me, because you know how easy it would be to facilitate that trade and how easy it would be to outbid other teams. 2 is the just general free agent optimism. 1, because it's kind of like a loose, like, what does that mean? It's obviously, if you're just taking play the field, we're going to have a good free agency versus will they sign X player? Obviously, that's just you're taking better odds. But I also, like I just said, I'm starting to believe a little bit. I'm foolishly. And then 3 is I don't think we're getting Soto. I don't think we're going to be serious for Soto. And to be completely honest, I don't fully blame them for that, because to have that conversation, you then are like, it kind of reminds me of the comeback where they're like, all right, we're going to get A-Rod, which means we're going to have to get rid of Manny and Lester, and then we're then going to have to trade Nomar, obviously. And, it's like we're just, this is a whole new team now. The things they would have to do to facilitate the Soto signing, you're now banking, you're paying $50 million for 14 years or something. He has to continue to be the greatest player alive, or one of, for a very, very long time. You're banking on putting so much money into the outfield. Now you're also talking about one of these lefties has to go. The Casas rumors that were shut down, maybe it does make sense. I don't know. Maybe, the things that would then have to, we'd be building a whole new roster. You'd be playing MLB The Show to get Juan Soto in here and to make everything fit together.
We got the same list.
Good.
Same order.
Good.
But my reasoning for the Crochet one is a little more just that it spells disbelief on my number 2, our number 2, that our number 2. How funny is that? On both of our number 2s, because if there's a path to acquire a player that means spending less and a guy who's just willing to sign an extension upon coming, I think that that's enticing.
Pause.
Out of nowhere. And never once on this show have you dropped a pause.
I know.
I don't think I've ever heard you say it. Anyways, yeah, I believe they're genuinely going to make a push for Crochet. And then
I agree.
a part of me I think it's just that I want to believe in the general offseason optimism. I think it's more want than fully believing. But the Soto sweepstakes, to me, I would be floored. I mean, I know a couple of years ago we joked around about Judge, signing with the Sox. Last year, obviously, there was the Shohei thing. I think this would be the most stunning beyond those two. Just because, I mean, the dollar figure is probably going to be closer to Shohei than it was to Aaron Judge. And it's like you said, it's a crowded area. It's not an area of need. And they've just shown you for years that they're not willing to do that. Devers obviously being the single exception.
I would rank Ohtani as most likely of those, just purely because you could convince that ownership that they're going to make more money than they spend with the whole international sponsorship endorsement stuff. But yeah, I see your point. Like I think outside, other than that, the other ones don't really, Soto, it would be a weird one for this to be the one that they go all in on. Of all as weird as that sounds, as great as he is, and it just doesn't. I don't know.
Can I say something that I'm going to delete if the Sox sign Soto?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to scrub this from the internet if the Red Sox acquire Juan Soto. I wouldn't be like that, Stone. I wouldn't be like, oh my, like, of all the greats, he doesn't rank among like my favorites. And I think part of that is that he was a Yankee last year. Sure, that like I have most recently watched him in pinstripes, but also it's like, I don't even Soto the Padre. If you told me we were trading for Soto the Padre, I wouldn't be like, I don't know. There's just other guys that I like more, that are just easier to root for more. Like I made the Tatis thing early. I think Tatis coming here would be so sick. I know that fans have mixed opinions. Players probably have mixed opinions, but I just
certainly.
I think that'd just be fun. Juan Soto doesn't reek of fun to me. And this is so stupid. I'm just saying from a rooting interest, buying jerseys, being a fan thing, I don't think that I would jump out of my seat and be like, holy shit, we got Soto. I understand it makes the team a lot better, and that would be fun, and I'm sure I would come to love him, but I'm not like, oh my God, they gotta.
I agree. I'll tell you what, it doesn't, it's not 10% of the excitement I would have had for Ohtani. Not sure that's a fair scale to put anyone else on, but he is in that price range wise. He's supposed to be like kind of close. And, some figures have been thrown around that I don't think I agree with. But
I think Judge is like was relatively close to Ohtani. I think I would have flipped my shit if the Red Sox landed Aaron Judge. One, because it's hilarious.
That's most of it. Most of it is that, because I will say, great player, horrible contract. That is going to play out so bad. Yeah, dude, he's 45 years old already. People always forget that.
I mean, he's what, 33?
He is, I think he's 32. I'm taking a peek here.
How is this taking you so long?
Because of my
32.
Internet. He's 30. No, I wasn't just doing that. But 32, he signed through his age 39 season. Big dog like that getting paid $40 million a year.
Scott, I hate to tell you, as I pull up his BREF, led the majors in WAR, home runs, RBI, walks, on base percentage, slugging, OPS
Didn't
plus.
say it started yet. Didn't say this regression has started yet. That's not what I'm saying.
He made the Yankees a hell of a lot more than $45 million this year.
All I'm saying, 100%. I'm just saying $40 million at age 36, 37, 38, 39 for a 6'9" monster.
That's how every contract ages, though.
I agree. And honestly, $40 million won't be crazy by that point.
Yeah.
But I think you could sign Soto for a relatively similar price point at 25 years old, and it would look a lot better.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that if we signed Aaron Judge, I would have been like, how many years? It's like, you look at the Bogarts contract and you go, I don't know if that was a good idea.
I think everyone immediately was like, what? I think Judge got like exactly what they were expecting. What is it?
40 million
10 years,
9 years or something like that. Yeah, 9 years, 360.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what people expected.
Mm.
Just 40 mil, 9 years. That sounds exactly like what he should have got. But Bogey, I mean, that was immediate. The primary reaction to the Bogey contract was like, what the fuck are the Padres thinking?
Yeah,
that's a terrible
and even
contract.
for us who love Bogey more than anything, we were kind of like, oh, I get it. Like, Craig, I get it, Craig. I don't know if I would have matched that. There was a lot of anger in you could have got him for $5,150 2 years ago, but that aside, we're not going to do that again. But they shouldn't have. Not a good contract.
You know what I think about a lot is on this show, we had on the kid who kind of broke the news because this kid was at a Phoenix Suns game, saw Bogey, approached him and said, hey man, are you coming back to the Red Sox? And Bogey looked at him, smiled and went, no.
Yeah.
And I think about that
smiled.
all the time.
Was he distraught?
No, he was stoked.
No,
he was
but
like,
remember the club video? He was like,
yeah.
He didn't seem happy.
I remember tweeting that night, like Xander Bogaerts has to text goodbye to Rafael Devers tonight because of you fuckers. Yeah. Still sad, but horrific contract. Everybody knows that, but I don't know. I don't think that there's really a reality where Soto gets a bad contract. I'm just saying, I don't know. My excitement level wouldn't be what it would normally be for like the top dog free agent. I don't think the dollar amount and my happiness amount would be, whatever, equal. You got anything else? You got thoughts in your pretty little head of yours, dude?
We talked a little. Yeah, well, you got to do the thing.
Yeah, I'm just asking, do you have them or not first?
I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
You want me to just do it right now?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So.
What do you got, dude?
We briefly mentioned the Newsweek deal, acquisition, whatever. I think I just had an observation today that it was kind of a funny thing where everyone's worried about, yesterday it's election day. Today we're finding out who the new president is. Newsweek is obviously a very political site. Sure. And I very much enjoyed, poll updates next to, or like this, whatever, like to our college updates. And then it would just be like, it looks like Juan Soto could be between the two New York teams. And like, and then it would just be like, here's what J.D. Vance said about becoming the vice president. And then it would be like, could Corbin Burns end up on the Braves? And that was because of us. And I thought that was very funny that like, it was such a huge day for them. and what they've built for hundreds of years or whatever, 100 years,
Yeah.
whatever it's been. And it was just, they've just let us come in and just be like,
These
full
two
throttle?
teams could be the front runner for a top free agent.
Full throttle? Could the Red Sox actually spend this offseason? Yeah, that's
All
I
swing
have.
states go red in shocking turn.
That's what it was. That's what it was yesterday and today, and will be for as long as this thing is going. That's very funny to me. It always will be funny
It's
to
awesome.
me.
That is awesome. Yeah, no, I
'Cause
did.
when you
I did
go into
notice
the-
that too. When similarly, I was reading a Newsweek article, just a baseball article,
Of course.
and I was like, "Oh man, like was his ERA that high this year?" And just glanced over at the side, and it was just like editorials on like Trump winning, and I was like, there's other stuff going on in the world. It's a stark reminder.
For me, what's funny about it is everything gets when the writer puts it in the drafts, and then we go to the drafts, and the drafts are not broken up. So like I have to sort through the political articles to be like, there's Joey's take about the Crochet trade. It's so funny to me, and I think it'll take me a long time to not like be amused by that.
It's good. It's undeniably good. A packed show. Oddly enough, a couple of rumors, a couple of things going on. The Gerrit Cole thing. I'm glad that we remembered to talk about that because, my goodness, is that the funniest thing?
I'm sorry, I'm still on this. Blue Jays' answer to trade calls for Bo Bichette would be easy no. As Donald Trump meets Joe Biden at the White House, will Hunter get a pardon? Those are back to back in the queue.
Like, I want to read both. All right, open link in new tab.
Top Cubs prospect could be key trade chip to bringing a star to Wrigley in 2025. Absolutely shameful. Senate hospitals call out payers AI denials. I don't even know what that is. That's just so much more serious.
That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, you got anything else? I don't have anything else.
Nope.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Follow along on the socials at ITM_pod. You can follow me at Joey Copponi. You can follow him at Scott Neville 46, just like Juan Soto's AAV for the next 12 years.
14.
Ooh, wait, what's 1246? 12 times 46, 552 million. That sounds like what I would have guessed before everybody started saying 700, which is
He won't get that way.
I think it's a little crazy. 46 million for 12 years is fucking fine. I don't
His
know.
number
Whatever.
would be a lot closer to Judge's than Ohtani's.
Do you think so?
Yeah, that's my take.
Wow. There's a take. All right, guys. We will see you next week. Slide in the DMs. Slide in the DMs next week. Slide in the meantime. If you're listening to this, slide in and be like, hey, made it to the end of the show. Had a great time listening. My, oh my. What a fantastic program you guys have put together. Say that word for word. I'll send you 48 cents on Venmo. For Scott Neville, I'm Joey Copponi. Go Sox, kid.